Hi, it's Miss Parrott, and this is the next in the AP Bio Equations Explained video series. Today we're going to be diving deep into surface area to volume ratio and answering questions like, why can't cells just grow forever? First, let's look at the formulas. This is the second page of the AP Biology formulating equation sheet. You can see the equations for surface area are here at the bottom, volume in the middle, and all of the variables are defined here. Depending on the shape, there's going to be a different equation for surface area and for volume. So for a cube, it's 6s squared for surface area, but for a sphere, the surface area equation is 4 pi r squared. This lets us know we need to pay close attention to the question when it tells us what shape the cells are. Volume for a cube is side length cubed. Volume for a sphere is 4/3 pi r, which is the radius, cubed. Then we're actually going to take those two formulas and put them in their own formula, the surface area to volume ratio. Remember, a ratio is a comparison of one to the other, so we're going to use division. So surface area divided by volume will give us the reduced version to surface area to volume ratio. And big picture idea here is, as size of an object increases, the surface area to volume ratio is inversely proportional, so it's going to decrease. What does this mean for cells? Well, cells rely on diffusion and osmosis, which is the movement of particles from an area of high concentration to low concentration. So in order to get food into the cell, in order to exchange carbon dioxide and oxygen, in order to get waste out of the cells have to rely on diffusion. So a small cell actually has a high surface area to volume ratio. Again, inversely proportional. So a small cell is going to be more efficient at exchanging those materials, whereas a cell with low surface area to volume ratio is going to be larger. In a cell like that, the waste is going to build up. It's not going to be able to get enough food and exchange gases to maintain the metabolism of the cell. And that's going to trigger the cell to divide. Now let's look at the math that supports this. Again, all the formulas are given on the formula sheet. Today we'll be looking at the cube since that's the most common seen on the AP Bio exam. So we have one cell here with side length of 1, and this cell has a side length of 3. The surface area equation is 6s squared. So for the small cell, we'll do 6 times 1 squared. 1 squared is 1 times 6 is 6. Volume is going to be S1 cubed. 1 cubed is 1. The surface area to volume ratio, we put the surface area over the volume. In this case, we've already reduced the volume to 1. So we're going to write our surface area to volume ratio as a 6:1 surface area to volume ratio. Now let's look at the larger cell. We may think larger cell, larger surface area to volume ratio, but let's look at the numbers. If this time we have side length of 3, we do 6, side length of 3 squared. 3 squared is 9, 9 times 6 is 54. And then side length cubed, 3 cubed is 27. Then if we put it in our surface area to volume ratio division equation here, we've got 54 divided by 27 equals 2 over 1 when we reduce. So this larger cell has a smaller surface area to volume ratio. It's only 2:1. So a smaller cell will have a higher surface area to volume ratio and be more efficient at exchanging materials by diffusion. Whereas a large cell will have lower surface area to volume ratio and be less efficient at exchanging materials with diffusion. That means it's time to divide. Cell size limits explain why cells divide instead of endlessly growing. They also explain why so many organisms have adaptations to increase their surface area, because increased surface area is going to increase efficiency. So some adaptations include the microvilli in the lining of our intestines. Microvilli are little finger-like projections that add surface area so all this area can be absorbing nutrients instead of just like a flat wall of a tube, right? Red blood cells, they aren't spherical, they're biconcave. They kind of look like a donut that the hole didn't quite go all the way through, like it has a belly button on each side. And again, that helps it increase its surface area. Flatworms, they don't have an anus. They have to diffuse waste through their skin and also exchange gases through their skin. So being flat helps them increase their surface area to be able to do all those metabolic processes. Now you also see this in larger animals. So like an elephant, it has large flat ears to increase the surface area to allow heat to exchange. It also has wrinkly skin for the same reason. Inside respiratory tracts, so whether you're looking at lungs are not just they're not just sacs. They're not like a balloon. They're like a sponge. Why? To increase surface area for gas exchange. Gills, they also have finger-like projections. Why? To increase surface area. The insides of mitochondria are folded, right, to increase surface area for metabolism increasing efficiency. So one quick misconception I want to clear up is that bigger animals do not have bigger cells. So an elephant does not have bigger cells than a person. They just have more cells. And you do not have bigger cells than an ant. You have more cells. In conclusion, surface area to volume ratio explains why cells are small and why organisms evolve adaptations to increase surface area and maximize exchange of gases and of food and of waste. Next time you see folds or finger-like projections, remember that is there to increase surface area and therefore increase efficiency. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, click the subscribe button, leave a comment or emoji in the box below. And if you're a teacher, check my store out on Teachers Pay Teachers. It's called Know and Grow with Gnomes for resources that can go with this video. Keep knowing, keep learning, keep growing, and we'll see you next time.